You're watching the Livewell, brought to you by Rapala.
Hey, and welcome to the Livewell presented by Rapala. I'm Tommy Sanders along with Ronnie Moore. And Ronnie, the last time, Santee Cooper, the land of the Giants, that was the last event. Now stop number 4. Also a place where the Giants live.
Expectations are always high when we come to Lake Chickamauga, especially in the spring. Hey, Tommy, the last time we were there in 2020, we were here in the fall, but it was still a very dynamic body of water and a fun tournament. It'll be a little different, though, in the spring. We've been here before around this time of the year with the Opens especially, but a little earlier, and we'll see how that changes with the weather and the water.
60 miles of the Tennessee River, very, very legendary place in the heart of Tennessee's most rabid bass fishing community for sure. Be a lot of attention on this tournament, and there will be some shallow activity, maybe spawn related, maybe not. And there'll also, of course, it won't be the deep ledge bite, but there'll be some deep spots as well.
Yeah, the thing is, Tommy, it's not going to be a full-blown 94 anglers sight fishing. It's not going to be anything like that. But we have some of the best guys with the best vision in the world, and they will find a couple fish possibly spawning. The big deal here isn't necessarily the water temperature at Lake Chickamauga early April. What the deal is the water level. Around middle of April to the middle of May, they start to raise that water to the summer pool level. But until then, it lingers below full pool. It lingers around that 7-foot low mark, which is winter pool. If that water comes up with all the rains we've had, we could see some more shallow water and fish push to the shallow waters. But otherwise, we could still see a full-blown pre-spawn event, which could be a great recipe for over 80, over 90, maybe even 100 pounds of fishing.
Oh, absolutely. But I'll make this bold prediction. That big mat that Lee Livesey wheeled his entire victory around, that place will be visited, I don't care what time of year it is.
It will be. The grass will be obviously different because this time of the year it hasn't grown up to the full capabilities it has in the fall when it's already grown up from the summertime. We will see some of those areas that maybe people navigated in because it was so shallow with the ditches. Some of those little areas, those little depressions within those shallow areas, those can definitely factor. But Tommy, we will see baits like a lipless crankbait, a Storm Arashi vibe, or a DT6, a Rapala DT6. Crankbaits like that, bladed jigs as well, we will see a lot of power fishing, and we'll see those guys, maybe they're fishing shallow water, maybe 3 foot or less, but they could be on the main drag, on the main lake, maybe off of some of those islands, some of those bars, places that we've seen in the summertime or places that fish will pull up in the mornings oftentimes on the Tennessee River. We will see those factor all day long as there's not a gusty wind.
Among the favorites, a winner already this season. I'm not going to mention any names. A winner already this season, and our progressive angler of the year points leader as well. You can pick your own favorites, and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, well, I know Tommy is now being less transparent with his fantasy fishing picks because you obviously were the top dog at Santee Cooper, the top T-San on fantasy fishing, top team, and that was your team at Santee Cooper. So I'm going to have to get all of your picks once we exit this show to figure out who I want. But like you said, there are a lot of Tennessee anglers that are local to Chickamauga now. Maybe a few years ago there was only 1 or 2. Now we have 5 to 6 anglers who frequent Chickamauga quite regularly. Georgia's not too far from there, the Carolinas, even the guys in Alabama. Chickamauga is a hot spot, and we should see a lot of guys who have a couple local flavors to their game plan. But I will say, don't count out the Hiwassee River. We saw that factor a little bit in the fall. That's the one dynamic place that's a little different. It does get dirtier. That low water could affect it a little differently. But we should see all the way from the Dayton boat dock where the takeoff is, down to Chester Frost, the Hiwassee River, even above takeoff. There should be a lot of places the anglers can make their hay during the Chickamauga event.
So we'll all keep an open mind and just expect to have a great time at the Guaranteed Rate Bassmaster Elite at Chickamauga Lake. That's April 7th through the 10th. The coverage all the way through right here on Bassmaster.com and also on FS1 on Saturday and Sunday. Thank you for joining us for the Livewell.